All right, good morning, everybody. Very warm welcome to you once again to our empowering morning conversations. Now, I'm speaking to you from a place called Pune, and Pune is cold. Imagine a Delhi wala saying Pune is cold, but it is. So, good fun, and I'm waiting to hear from each and every one of you. And to take care of that part of the conversation, let me invite Neeti. Good morning, Neeti. You can start the conversation and then we'll take it from there.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to session number 108 of Empowering Morning Conversations. Another bright, nice morning, not bright, but cool, nice morning in Calcutta. And it is, like you said, Pune being cold, Calcutta is overcast and very comforting in many ways, though we do have some waterlogging. We're coming on to the purpose of our empowering morning conversations. Yesterday, we talked about dealing with upsets and identifying the causes and how to handle upsets. And I guess I'm sure many of us have given this whole thing a thought with our personal lives, and we have our questions or we have our experiences to share amongst other experiences. So I go ahead and invite you to please come up and share your experiences. Who would like to speak first? Hasina ma'am, for a long time, we've not had a sharing from you. How about you coming and speaking to us first today? Ma'am, you have to unmute yourself.
I'm not ready what to start with. Give me some time.
That's great. Means there's nothing really bothering and it's not on top of your mind. So that's also a positive sign.
Thank you.
We'll come back to you when you are comfortable and
Right.
ready to
Thank
share.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
May I share?
Yes, Bilkul.
Good
Welcome.
morning. Good morning, friends. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is related to the story of my one crossed pencil, which went wrong and did not get it corrected. Then it got corrected, and then it again failed.
Oh,
When I again failed, I got little upset, but I say, let us see the possibilities. So I went again yesterday to this gentleman and I said, this is what has happened. Now I am not able to use it. But I didn't ask him, can you did not do any work or something like this. I didn't. I say, you have done your best, but something is there. So can we do something? So I was with him searching the possibilities. So he said, what can I do? It is not happening. Now you can do one thing. You can just give me the address of the person who is the distributor for India for the cross pens. You must be certainly knowing it, or you can find it out. And that's just to give it to me. And I am very grateful that you have done whatever your best. So he talked to someone, found out the person who is in charge for the whole, who is distributor for the whole Asia in Bombay. So he gave me the telephone number and the address of that company. And I asked him to thank you very much, and I am very grateful that you have done your best. I didn't ask him anything. But what has happened is pleasantly surprising. He immediately took out the 100 rupees note and gave it back to me. He said, this is what you have given, and now this is not correct. I wish you to take it back. And I didn't ask him that. So this is what I have learned, the power of enrollment. Had I have talked to him some other way, I would have lost everything.
exactly. So you learn two things, that if you don't allow your upset to control you,
Yes, sir.
then you might be able to, use the power of enrollment.
Yes.
So when you are upset, you can never enroll anybody.
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing it.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Who would like to share next?
Good morning, ma'am. Can I go ahead?
Yes, Shakti. Yes, Shakti. Please go ahead.
So, good morning, everyone. Actually, yesterday I did a video testimony of for this Good to Great program. So I was go through that past 6 months. I'm associating with Sir. I was go through that where I was, where I am. That transformation literally it's made me it's like wow. Thank you, sir. Grateful to you. Thought to
You're
share.
most welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we've got Raghu.
Good morning, sir.
Raghu's came first. You wait, Dwarkanath,
Okay.
please.
So good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. This is something related to what Mr. Kuldeep sir said about inclusive. Yes, after attending his program, I call in my office. There are 3 presidents I call because whatever I do, they react in a different way to me always. So the second president, what happened, I don't know. I approached him in a better manner to say hello, good morning, and like past two months, I think I've been talking to him, and then yesterday he completed 15 years in my office, and the last 15 years there was always there'll be quarrels, and he went to India. Then I on a while giving the gifts and all in the office, I took his photo. Particularly, I took his photos and then shared him through the WhatsApp. I don't believe when he was doing the departure, he picked up the phone and then he called me. Raghu, I'm very grateful to you. So many years this happened, but just forget it. I like these photos, whatever you sent. I was very happy yesterday. Like this person calling me, I never even expected in my life. So he's my second president. So I have to work on the first president and the third president. Thank you.
Wonderful
Okay.
example of enrollment. Wonderful example.
Dwarkanath is next.
Good morning,
When I pin them, Niti, can you see them that I've pinned them?
No, sir, because I think you co-hosted me on the mobile, and I watched the gallery on the desktop.
You don't have to be co-hosted to see this thing pinned
No, but
one.
the pinning is not showing on my screen. No,
Okay, now?
no.
Okay, fine. So then I will have to tell you. Okay, so next is Dwarkanath.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, namaste.
Yes, it's everything going fine. And this has become, by your best wishes, one schedule in my routine. So without which I cannot breathe easily. And all salutes to you. And then something specific came to my mind is in relationships, when we like the husband, we don't like the wife, somebody's wife. Then husband invites me to their house. We become uncomfortable. Neither I'm in a position to tell him I will come, or I cannot tell him on his face, I don't like your wife. And because of this, I am suffering in myself. This is a situation in most of the cases. How to be happy with myself in spite of this disturbance. Just I wanted to submit to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, great. So one thing which I'll say to you and everybody else is, if you start practicing the things that we tell you to, okay?
Yes, sir.
And you start listening.
Yes.
Okay. Problem with most of us is we don't really listen. We are so busy in comparing and saying, oh, this is what it is, giving our own meaning, that sometimes we miss the point. So even if you start practicing those things which we ask you to practice, you'll find lots of changes happening to you. So that's the reason why today we'll do some practice also.
Now, this specific, I wanted to tell you, sir. It's
yeah. So that's what I answered. That's why I say, Dwarkanath, start listening.
No, I will listen, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, because I answered your question. I don't think you heard it.
No, I could not understand.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for making it clear. What I'm saying, Dwarkanath ji, is that if you practice the things which we tell you,
yes,
we make you practice certain things.
Yes.
Laughing 100% and the expansion exercise and so many other things that we do. If you practice them, automatically these things will change for you.
Okay, sir. Just excuse me. I wanted to know the logic behind my behavior or somebody's behavior? I wanted to know, sir.
The logic behind 90% people's behavior is that nobody listens. They're
Okay,
only
sir.
listening to themselves. They're not listening to what the other
Oh,
person is saying.
yes, I got it now.
That is why problem happens, no?
Uh,
See, you are saying something, somebody is hearing something else from their own mind. That's where the problem lies. So if when sometimes you have to say the same thing many times to someone so that they can listen to what you are saying. Because they're not listening to what you are saying. They're listening to what they're saying in their own head. Yeah, so we'll do some work on that also. So that would be very interesting.
Thank you, sir.
Good. And Dwarkanathji, thank you very much for your questions because you are at least having the courage to ask those questions.
Yes.
A lot of people are there who don't understand, but they will not open their mouth and say anything. People are afraid, that others will think, oh, I am not having brains or something. So I very, very much appreciate your sharing, appreciate your questions. I appreciate that you like to come here every morning. We love your participation. Okay. So don't stop asking questions.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
so much. Right.
Okay.
Yes, who would like to share next? Ji Kuldeep sir.
नहीं मैम वो बाय मिस्टेक इट मस्ट हैव कम मेरा शेयरिंग तो हो गया था ना
तो सर अब आप शेर ही सुना दीजिए।
हाँ शेयर सुना सकता हूँ
हाँ जी।
सुनिए पेशे खिदमत है जिंदगी का एक ऑब्जर्वेशन कि मिलता तो बहुत कुछ है इस जिंदगी में मिलता तो बहुत कुछ है इस जिंदगी में पर हम गिनती उसी की करते हैं जो हासिल न हो सका
बिल्कुल wonderful.
I'm going to translate this one.
Yes.
See, in life, we get so many things, a lot of things in life. But we only remember those things which we never got, we never achieved. हमें वो याद रहता है जो हमें हासिल ना हो सका. Means things which we couldn't attain. That's what we remember. Beautiful. Kuldeep ji, you have to send it. I'll put it on the group. Every
Yes.
day is a gem coming out of your mouth. Thank you so much.
ये गुलजार का है सर ये गुलजार का है
चलो किसी का भी हो आपने बोला ना
जी
Okay, Sandeep is next.
Very
जी
good
सर।
morning to all. First of all, a big thank to sir because particularly last few days, they have been amazing, beautiful and most memorable days in my life. And this all is happening because what I have attended, what I have learned little, and there is so much to learn even from the past sessions because we are not doing exercises what I've been told, or we don't really have time because yesterday what sir has said, I think that itself will take maybe years. Like when we spoke about broken promises or unfulfilled expectations, feeling blocked, thought intentions, all this, if I connect me and every other person that has come in my life, or at least 50 most important people, and if I see them from both point of view, my point of view as well as their point of view, I put myself into their shoes, I think it is going to take years. And if I can really do this, I'm very sure I'm going to be a very, very different person with and we will have total faith and we will totally accept that we are really magnificent people who are listening to sir every day, and he will not only make us realize, but he will make us actually. We will see that magnificence coming out of each of us. So just wondering, sir, like just yesterday's sessions will take years, and if I go for 107 all sessions, there is so much of things to really take a juice out of it, and really nourish our heart, soul, mind, and our future. There is a lot to be done. And this again, my deepest gratitude. 26th was the birthday of my daughter. We had the best birthday celebration ever. Uh, and we had not just me and my wife, but we saw that everybody was present, was beaming with that same happiness, beaming with that same pride and participating. And this has all has certainly has the effect of sir's inputs that sir is giving. So my deepest gratitude to you, sir, and look forward to such wonderful session. Yesterday was an amazing session. I think even if we share just yesterday's session to all our friends and family, they will make sure that they will come and attend this program. Nobody will like to miss such sort of deepest learning, which are available in book. Everybody can go to book, internet, browser, but we will never understand even 5% the way sir is explaining us on this session. So thank you so much, sir.
Yesterday was my, I gave you a sample of what happens in the Good to Great program. So that's one of the sessions I had taken earlier in the Good to Great program, about 8 or 9 months ago, I think. And before that, it was not called Good to Great program. It was called Get What You Want. So it's a very powerful program that I do. It's called Get What You Want. It's got some 30 sessions in it. So this was one of the sessions. I said, let me gift it to you. Okay, so I'm happy that you liked it. Now, coming to the fact that you said it'll take years and years, actually it won't. If you pick up the Mool mantras from this calls, one of the Mool mantras is start listening. Start listening without judging. And start listening with an intention. Now listen to this one very carefully. Start listening with the intention to accept the other person's point of view without changing it. So when you listen with an intention, right? Normally we don't listen with an intention. Some sounds are coming, something hits us, it's fine. Most of the time it's not very intentional. Intentional means here is a human being talking to me. Let me get exactly what they want to say. If I'm not clear about it, ask questions. Right? We are not listening. We don't want to pretend to listen. We actually want to listen. See, people are in their own world. You are in your world, they are in their world. How do you get an entry into somebody else's world? When you really listen to them. You know, miracles happened. I was doing a training program for the Bosch group of companies. The program was called Value Selling. Okay. And a very core part of that kind of selling cannot be done successfully unless you really listen. Right. So I went beyond the curriculum and I gave them an extra 2 hours on listening. One of the teammates, members from the Delhi program, which I had done, sent me a message on email later on, says, sir, thank you very much. You know, I had shared with you about a customer which I had lost. So I went back to that customer and I really listened to that customer. And at the end of that conversation, he became a customer. Once again, he gave me an order of 4 crore rupees. Thank you for the gift of listening, he said. So we don't know. So sometimes I tell people, no, we have one mouth and 2 ears because we are supposed to listen. But something between our ears is not allowing us to listen. So other Mool mantras, stop judging. What do we do? Judging, right or wrong, good or bad. Oh, it looks like this, it looks like that. Oh, he's saying that. Are Baba, he's not saying that, he's saying this, what he's saying right now. So our minds, we are actually not living in our present moment. In our minds we are. Remember, we did one exercise where I wanted you to recover the experience of experiencing. You remember that? अनुभव को अनुभव करने का हम आपको परिचय दे रहे थे. So a lot of these Mool mantras which I give you, even if you pick up one of them and start practicing it. Now, these are not the things you know in every day. Okay, now I take out 15 minutes to practice. Not required. Listening you do all the time. Breathing also you do all the time. Na? Being present to another human being you can do all the time. You can be with a person and half be there. You know how we are. We are with someone, but our mind is somewhere else. You're with someone or you're remembering, oh, in the past, this fellow did like this. Now I know what he's going to do. Now he's going to say the same thing. Now you're not with him. So these are many, many things which you can do. Another very powerful distinction that we have covered in these sessions is the distinguishing of between choice and decisions. Okay. We are so obsessed by decisions. Yesterday I was talking to someone. All that the person needs to do is make a choice. But making a decision is so difficult. Making a choice is easy. You just make a choice. It's your choice. Do what you want. You don't have to justify anything to anybody. Right? So when you make a choice, you're doing it with an open mind, with an open heart. And you're saying, all right, it's my choice. Whatever be the consequences of my choice, I'm willing to take that. But in a decision, who's deciding? Fear of the consequences is deciding. So that's the other Mool Mantra. Instead of deciding, what will happen if you start choosing? And let me tell you something, we've got some very senior people over here. You can ask them whether they decide or they choose. The outcome is always unpredictable. You talk to a businessman, okay? Any businessman, he will do due diligence, market survey, this, that, everything. And sometimes after all that, the business doesn't take off. And sometimes they just make a choice. You know, I've been doing programs on helping senior managers to develop their intuition. Okay. So, as a part of my preparation to deliver those programs, I discovered that a very large number of very senior people, they will take decisions based on an intuition or a hunch. Okay. I would call that a choice. If you can go with a hunch, because there's no guarantee about anything in life. I mean, those crazy people at Sony, when they come out of the Sony Walkman, there was no logical reason that a product like that would sell. So all the analysts and all said, sir, who wants to walk around with a music player in their pocket? And it became a rage. I mean, it was selling like wildfire. Was it a logical decision when the company who invented the quartz watch movement, it was an American company which developed it. You know that? And they went to the Swiss people because they were watchmakers. And the Swiss people, their logical brain said, who is going to use this? Because the brain was so fixed in using only mechanical movements. And the Citizen company saw a possibility in that. Was there a logical reason for that? Maybe, maybe not. Was there a guarantee that this quartz watch would overtake the marketplace? There wasn't, but they took it. So they took the ideas from Americans at a cheap price and they made huge amount of money. At one point, mechanical watches were almost out of the market. HMT to vanished completely. Do you understand? Here we are in this world trying to use our logic and trying to make decisions, expecting some sort of a guarantee of security. But is it there? So that's another Mool Mantra. Create, out of your choices. And the fundamental thing is start getting out of your victim mode. What is victim mode? Anybody? Default mode, victim mode. Anybody can tell me what is a default mode or a victim mode? Our default mode is a victim mode.
Like we blame everything else beside, checking out whether our moves were right and wrong.
Exactly. So the world is completely controlling everything that we do. Directly or indirectly, it is influencing us. So much so that at the age of 27, I realized I have never ever made a choice in my life. Okay. All the decisions were made for me by others. Yeah, when I was with my father's house, it was made by my father. When I was with my wife, she was making the decisions. So when I was in my office, my boss was making the decisions. Which obviously in a corporate structure, that's the way it's going to be. So if you want to make your own choices, run your own business. But a lot of people say, sir, that is risky. Yeah, but you'll enjoy the freedom. Freedom comes at a price. Right? If you are doing a job, you're going to be the prisoner of your paycheck, which is just enough to help you pay your EMIs. Right? They'll not give you a huge salary, you see, otherwise why would you come back the next month? You'll save your money and start your own business. दुनिया में शोर तो बहुत है, डेफिनेटली. दुनिया आपको कंट्रोल भी करती रहती है ना, दुनिया आपके ऊपर हावी हो जाती है ना, तो हम हमेशा पीड़ित रहते हैं ना. दुनिया हमको कंट्रोल करती है, हम नहीं करते हैं कुछ. सो मेनी मूल मंत्रास आर देयर जो हम आपको दे रहे हैं. सो आई से some of them you'll remember, some of them you won't. Okay, but I promise you one thing, whether you remember them or not, somewhere inside your subconscious mind it is using you. क्योंकि जब एक दिल में बात बैठ जाती है, दिमाग में बात बैठती है, एक चीज की एहसास होता है वो जब once you realize something, you understand? Once you realize something, two things can happen. What do you think? Aapko, you have realized something and you feel good. Oh, I realized this. Very nice. Congratulations. You realize something and then you take some action with it. That is the most beautiful thing that can happen. Yes, Mr. Gaurav, my dear old friend.
Right. So realization itself is a like a warm feeling. It's like peeing in your pants. But
Exactly.
what next?
So you got to remove the pee wala pant, no? See, that's where a lot of people
Being
get
in
stuck.
action.
Yeah. So a lot of people get stuck, they'll read a lot of books, that hoping their life will become better. So they'll read these books and they'll feel very good. Yeah, I learned something new. So what? What did you do with it? So I keep reminding people that, there was a study done by an American university and they said that more than 80% of the managers use less than 10% of what they know. So, when I started my corporate training tenure back in 98 or something, I was very clear. Everybody knows everything because I used to know everything. When I went and did the S training, the trainer was talking and I was saying, yeah, I know this. Yeah, I read this in Dale Carnegie. Yeah, that's written in the Gita. Yeah. So what? If, so I call myself a person who's a catalyst who will help you to use what you already know. And even if I can get you to use 5% more of what you already know, I've done my job. Yeah. So Gaurav, I'm sorry, you
Just
probably
to
wanted to make a point.
paraphrase what you said, I think it's Japanese wisdom or something, or Buddhist something. It says to know and not do is to not know.
It's as good as
I attended a program conducted by one of my very old friends who is quite an authority on rural marketing, and Mr. Pradeep Kashyap. I mean, even Bill and Melinda Gates come to meet him when they come to India. So this guy was doing a program where he said, most people think that the villager in India, is not very educated. Okay. He says these guys have got more common sense and intelligence than most people put together. He said, to survive and to make money with the small bit of land that he has, these guys, they're so savvy and they're so intelligent. And then you know what he said? He says they might know little, but whatever little they know, they implement it. So we've spent our whole life, getting so much of knowledge. So you should not call it knowledge. I should say knowledge in the library of our mind. I think when a push comes to a shove, that's when we should use the knowledge, na, Gaurav? And that's when we get paralyzed, don't you think? So we need somebody to come and hold our hand that time. And I mean, the world's a nice place. There are people to hold our hand. But what if that certain simple principles we followed, right? Yesterday we were talking about upset. I don't think you were there, right? Everybody gets upset, right? How long are you going to allow that upset to rule you? Yeah. If you can get off it very fast, good for you. But the most insidious ones, the covert ones, which we don't even know that we have, the ones that make us cynical, the ones which make us resigned, the ones which make us lose our gusto and enthusiasm in life, those are the ones which we need to address, and we may spend half our life not even knowing that you're in a state of upset. In 2013, something very very bad happened. It was a series of unfortunate incidents resulted in the death of my late wife after a lot of suffering, cancer, this, that, and the other. Okay. That was the time, and about maybe 2 years later, when I got this, 4 stents in my heart, and the doctor said, I said, why do I get it? Because I've been eating healthy, I've been exercising, this and that. He says, you've got stress. I said, are you joking with me? I don't get stressed. And I actually believed it. But when I went into a deep dive to find out, I realized that I was carrying an upset from the day my father died in 1987. 87 to 2013, I was living my life like a stoic person. You know what a stoic is? Person who doesn't feel feelings, right? And because I had so much technology at my beck and call, so many programs that you do, so you know very well how to bury shit. So whenever I talk to people about experiencing, I know the value of that. Had I been really experiencing, why was I not letting myself experiencing? I knew how to do that. I was not allowing myself to experiencing because I did not want to experience my despair. I did not want to experience my sorrow. So I was blocking that off. Okay. I did not want to go. I did not want to be vulnerable. I did not want to be out of control. We want to be in control, like in charge. And we don't even know this, and you're carrying it. And then it comes out in your body at some point, right? And obviously it limits possibilities. We don't know. So we got to watch out for this insidious, the covert upsets that we carry. They are eating away at us, they're like worms gnawing away at us, like a dimak. Yes, sir.
I wanted to make 2 points here, Sukhdeep. One is about the fight or flight syndrome, and sometimes like we seem to be in control of our amygdala, and then we say, "Kuch bhi ho jaye, hum ekdam shant rahenge." So we take on being some monk or something. We are probably missing out something, as you said, some technology we've got saying, जो भी हो जाए हम तो ऐसे
अभी मल्लम लगा दिया ना ऊपर से. See, you have probably not attended my session where I talk about the 3 brains. So we live in brain number 2, that's the reactive brain, the amygdala as you call it, and brain number 2, which is the analyzer, which is always judging right, wrong, making habits and patterns and all that, right? So sometimes we learn some technology so we can push everything under the carpet because we don't want to experience it out. You remember the headache exercise we used to do in the forum? When you made a person experience the headache fully and it disappeared. But you have to experience it, na? So I've been telling all these people something called discretion. But again, for discretion, you need to be able to experience it. But we are fighting experiencing, especially those feelings which we don't like. So at the bottom of every upset, there is something which we don't want to experience. Like, have you noticed these angry people? They find it very hard to get rid of their anger because they never allow themselves to fully experience their anger. They will blast it out sometimes or they will suppress it, but they will not even blast it out completely because as they are getting angry, they are resisting their own anger and saying to themselves, I should not be getting angry. Can you imagine? You are resisting something which is already happening to you. So will it be complete? It will always be incomplete. Understand? So how many of these incomplete blockages we are carrying inside us? And these are the, what shall I say, the surreptitious upsets that we carry. I mean, tell me, what is the logical reason that this effervescent child, chulbula bacha, excited, yeah, whoa, how much fun we have as children. What happened to us, man? By the time we turned 40, forget about 40, by the time we went to high school, we finished. We are in a state of perpetual anxiety, exam, job. Right? When you get the job, then again, there is an anxiety, promotion, stupid boss. Why doesn't he listen to me? Some shit we'll always find out, right? So we are staying in a state of perpetual upset and pumping all this, adrenaline and cortisol and all these, naughty chemicals and making ourselves sick. So I see, I love meditation. I've been a meditator myself. I still am. That's why I love Vipassana because of its purity. It's not giving you a crutch of a mantra. It is not giving you a crutch of any music. So you have to go deep inside and you have to face the discomfort of your very deeply buried feelings. Now, I know a lot of people who can't face it, so they run away after 2 days. They go to Vipassana, they run away. 3 people I told, I said, listen, you don't go, you're not going to be able to take it. What are you saying, sir? You are discouraging. I said, you go. The first one ran off after 5 days. The second fellow is a trainer and a good one. He ran off after 2 days. Then he comes in very logically, I don't see the reason to sit there quietly for 10 days. I said, why did you go there then? Oh, I didn't know it was going to be so boring. You understand? So we'll come and rationalize everything. But actually what's happening is to be able to get in touch with your deepest fears or whatever it is that you're carrying, it's very uncomfortable. That's why we don't live our life fully. That's why we don't experience every moment fully. Okay? If you cannot experience a moment fully, how can that moment be an opportunity for you to become a better version of yourself? Because life is happening only in our experiencing, isn't it? I mean, the guys who live are our little children. They really live because they're there, full. After some time, world has taught them, hello, you can only survive, you can't live. That's why my motto is stop blaming, start living, because most of it, what we do is blaming. So thank you very much, Gaurav. Anything else you wanted to ask or say or put a finger on to?
I'm enjoying this process, and I'm also getting in touch with my vulnerability. Like, I am this happy-go-lucky guy, mostly, but that I have learned to control a lot of my emotions or whatever, and shut it off. So yeah, I'm kind of accessing that, and I'm being somber, I guess, now.
Yeah, so can you understand what I mean? Then you should completely understand what I'm saying. We have cut out the experience of experiencing, and we allow ourselves to experience only a few things. So if you come back to one of my mool mantra, if we stopped, judging, and if we stopped comparing, okay, oh, that was good. I still remember, I'm very fond of, me and my wife, both of us are very fond of eating that, what is that Burmese dish? Everybody eats it. Khawsway, right? So we had a wonderful khawsway in Gurgaon, okay? It was so magnificent. Now, wherever we go, we'll say, no, this one is not as good as that one. Why? Because we are always comparing it with that one. Now, this one might be better, huh? But it doesn't fit into my image of what was good for me at that time. And this is exactly what we are doing all our life. Where is the experiencing here? So one of my attempts in most of my program is for us to recover ourselves. Recover ourselves means what? Recover our ability to experiencing every moment of our life so that we are really alive. Not carrying a facsimile of aliveness. There's a difference between a picture of aliveness and aliveness. So some of those, so Sandeep opened up this can of worms. So there's not much to go like a formula, go and apply it, It's a way to be. You understand, Sandeep, if you're there? We got to be. It took me a long time to figure out what be means, like being of human beings, right? After everything said and done, being is something it took a long time to really understand. And you know why? Because we are trying to understand it. That's something you cannot understand. You just got to be that. And this I owe to Access Consciousness because it's brought me to a level which I never thought was possible after all the Vipassanas and everything else that I've been doing, Avatar and blah, blah, blah. Right? Because discovering and then living a life of choice. And I promise you guys, every one of you, and my old friend Gaurav has been on this journey of transformation with me for, I don't know, since 92 or something.
Yeah.
Exactly. So he knows exactly what I'm talking about. So we might be evolving, right? But can you imagine if that core of our being, right, the core that we are, which lives in the present moment. That core is covered up by some stuff which we don't want to remove because it's too painful. It's like an operation that you have to do, a very painful operation. It seems so, but actually it is not. Actually, it is quite simple. But we need to let go. Let go मतलब थोड़ा आत्मसमर्पण करना पड़ेगा. And to let go is a fearful exercise, no? For most of us, how can we let go? Let go means losing control. Let go means stopping to try to determine the outcomes in my life. Have you noticed we always want a certain outcome? Outcome is always safety. Yeah. Safety of the self or whatever it considers itself to be. We always want a predetermined outcome. Can we ever have it? Yeah. But if you surrender, you may find a magical world opening up for you, like I did. There is a world of magic. There is a world of miracles. Okay. Yes, Indu, letting go is liberation. Thank you so much. Thanks, Gaurav. So, without wanting to, I've launched into the main part of today's session. Okay. Thank you, Neeti. And I wanted today to be a question and answer session because when we did the session on beliefs, a lot of things were opened up for you. And yesterday, when we did the session on upsets, I'm sure many things have also opened up for you. So, any of you, so you asked a lot of questions when I was not there, right? So, all those people whose questions are not answered, please ask those questions. Today is the opportunity to do that. And we've got about 30 minutes to answer all your questions. Anything about beliefs, anything about upsets, please don't hesitate. Go ahead and ask.
Are beliefs and upsets connected? This is Darshana here.
Yeah, I know, Darshana. I can now recognize your voice anywhere, anytime.
Thank you.
See, Darshana, very good question because beliefs are connected with your upsets, is they not? See, is it not a belief when you think that everybody should agree with you and those who don't agree with you are not nice people? That's a belief, isn't it? So I used to always get upset with when somebody disagreed with me. I used to be upset because I had a belief. What do you think my belief was, Darshana ji?
Everybody should agree with you.
Yeah, and what other belief I might have that made me get upset? Make a guess.
You were always right.
No. What other belief could be there? What you said is also right, but my belief was something else. So can you make a guess? Though, okay, I'll cut the long story short. Those who don't agree with me don't like me. That's what I used to believe. So I used to have a belief. I used to get upset with people who criticized me. Okay, especially if they were very close to me, like a close family member. So what belief do you think I must be having?
Don't like you.
Huh?
That they don't like you.
Yeah. And if they are criticizing me, they don't like me.
Correct.
Right? As a matter of fact, I would think they hate me now. They stopped loving me. If anybody criticized me, I would immediately start thinking they've stopped loving me. Right? First, I would think they stopped respecting me. And if they don't respect me, they definitely don't love me. So there was another belief that if somebody loves you, they have to respect you. It took me many years to find out they can love you even if they don't respect you.
Sometimes it works the other way. Now, if they don't agree with you, then you don't like them.
Yeah, then that's because of your own beliefs, right?
Is it I am right, they are not right? I am okay, they are not okay?
Yeah, whatever it is. Now you are teaching me about transactional analysis. Thank you very much. See, that is also true, but right now I'm talking about beliefs, my friend.
But can we have beliefs about not yourself, about somebody very close to you?
Yeah.
And understand and Now what I'm trying to say is now two people close to me. Now,
Mhm.
supposing they have beliefs about each other.
Yep.
So when we were talking about upsets yesterday and it beliefs the day before yesterday, and when you said to get rid of the upsets, first you have to interpret. It has to be the right interpretation. And
No,
then
I'm saying, no, I never said that. I said whatever interpretation you have, that is
right,
what is making you upset.
right. That's what I was trying. I actually meant that. And then we can try and communicate that the
So there is,
interpretation, whatever.
look,
So,
firstly, you have to master yourself. Okay. So see the situation. Some people are upset with each other and you are upset about it.
right.
Okay. So which one should you deal with first?
My upsets.
Right. And the cause of your upset is a belief that siblings should not be fighting with each other.
Right.
How many siblings have we met who don't fight with each other? Just imagine if you have a belief that siblings should never fight with one another, you'll definitely get upset when they are fighting, right?
No, what I am trying to say is that I believe in their belief that they are never going to reconcile. So I gave up on them. I've resigned myself to the fact that they are going to be fighting all the time. That's okay.
Yes. So that's another belief, right?
After attending the session on beliefs and upsets, I decided I wanted to break the belief that they can never reconcile. I wanted to break that belief and make
Yeah,
them
so we will break it. No, it is not true that they'll never reconcile.
So I wanted to go forget the interpretation of what they interpreted each other's, to go try the communication method.
Yes, you will. Darshana ji, stay in the conversation. At some point you stopped. I said stay in the conversation.
Okay.
You moved away from it because you got upset. Okay. So you're dealing with someone who does it day in and day out. So listen to me. We will sort this problem out, first of all. Okay. I guarantee you that. Because there is no problem in this life which cannot be resolved with communication. Every problem can be resolved with communication. Correct? So let me bring you back to the conversation, which was two people are upset with each other. You are upset with about that situation. So what is the first thing we will have to deal with? Our own upset. Correct?
Right.
And inside of that, you have identified, very rightly so, that I am upset because I had started believing that they will never reconcile. Okay? And I had given up on them. Now, I'm willing to look at that belief again and say, okay, who says that they will never reconcile? They can reconcile and we will make them reconcile. This is where you stand right now. Correct?
Right.
So I've understood this thing. Now we need to find out what should happen that the Cold War between them stops. Okay. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is the next step. We'll have to work on it step by step. But one belief that we'll have to take care of, and I'm telling this to every one of us, right? If you think that you will never, ever have a fight, or if you think that they will never, ever have a fight, then there's a problem. See, one of the beliefs that we all have, because of these lovely storybooks that we read, you know what happened? Prince meets princess and they fall in love and then they lived happily ever after. Okay, so that's a belief and an expectation. So the first time they have a fight, their beautiful world view is shattered. Oh my God, she also fights. Oh my God, this angel is not such an angel that I thought. And the lady is thinking, oh, this hero is not such a hero that I thought. He's got bad breath and he snores. And he pulls his mustache and digs his nose also. So all illusions are shattered, right? So what is the belief that we have that everything is going to be perfect? What is perfect? See, because we have certain beliefs, we cannot be in allowance of other people. Allowance, is a senior form of acceptance. So very good question, excellent question. Beliefs are the culprits in many places, including in upsets.
Okay.
Yeah, Dwarkanath, please wait. Let me finish talking to Darshana ji and complete this conversation. Then I'll come to you also. But are you with me so far, everybody? You're getting the
Right.
connection between beliefs and upsets?
Yes.
That is why I did the belief session first and the upset session afterwards. Yeah, but remember one thing. This is for every one of you. Communication can resolve every issue, but we need to know how to use it. Yeah, so we know how to talk, no doubt, but our listening needs a lot of work to be done. Our beliefs, we need to keep looking at them, etc., etc. So we'll do it step by step. But can you see there is an opening? There is a possibility, right? And we are
Yeah.
going to actualize that possibility. So my question to you, whoever is there having an upset with someone and you want to resolve it, my question to you is, are you committed to resolve it?
Yes.
So when I say commitment means a do or die commitment.
Right.
There is no turning back. There is no reasons. Nothing is going to stop you from fulfilling your commitment.
Right.
If you stand in that place, every problem can be resolved.
Okay.
So thank you for asking it. And Dwarkanath ji,
Thank
please
you.
go ahead.
Thank you for answering it.
You're most welcome, Darshana ji. I'm always there for you. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I was listening and I enjoyed it and realized now something like a universal belief, or it is my own creation, I don't know. The relationship is a what you call false. All relationships, no relationship will come in the time of for the help. Only friends will come like that. That is one belief, sir. Other side is we are three lovely brothers brought by my father, and then what has happened is I don't like my brothers, and they like me too much in their expression. But I don't like anybody because I want to be alone. That is my faith. For this, what I did, I brought a logic. How many brothers and sisters are together when the whole universe is brothers and sisters are fighting and they don't like either, they are separate. I am also separate. Like this, logic I bring and I keep away from my brothers. But so to save myself, I brought this logic and tell others. And this is an episode I am telling.
Okay, very good. But can you see something? One of the Mool mantras which I have been telling all of you is what? Stop judging. So when you say, I don't like my brothers, that is based on what? Because you're judging them, right?
No, it is this one, sir, my nature.
Your nature is to judge. You cannot justify by saying it is my nature.
Yeah, okay.
Hello, are you there?
Yes, sir.
See, it is obviously nature of everybody to keep on judging, isn't it?
No, but
has
there
become-
is my instinct is to be alone. That is my priority, sir.
That's all right. But you can be alone. My instinct, my priority is also to be alone. So what?
So then I don't want to allow anybody to come to me, or I should go to anybody.
Fine, then you got no problem. You can live like a hermit and be happy with it.
But they
What's the
are all
problem?
forcing me.
So tell them, get out of my life. I like to be alone. Go take sannyas and go live in the, forest or something. I mean, it's your choice, na?
Again, it
Dwarkanath ji.
becomes a hate and I am hurting myself.
So then you decide now what you want to do.
Thank you, sir.
See, you are only making everything happen. So you have to decide it, no? That is
Yes,
why I'm
sir.
saying you can choose your life the way you want. If you don't like what you are choosing, choose something else.
Thank you.
See, you can choose to be with your brothers. You can choose to be alone. You can choose to be sometimes with them. You can tell them also, okay, listen, I'm not outgoing type. I like my time alone. It does not mean that I don't like you. But you said you don't like your brothers. Yeah.
That I have to correct.
No, I don't know. You've got to stop judging. They are your brothers, your flesh and blood, right?
Yes.
I'm wondering why you don't like them. So we can discuss that later.
Subhash here.
Yes, Subhashji.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Sir, one side you are talking. Sir, I'm not able to see you.
I'm not able to see you either.
No, okay. Because seeing you and visualizing you all the day is more pleasant to me. Like you're so
You are
glorious.
Subhash. You are Subhash.
Yes, Subhash.
So why can't I see you? Then you should unmute your video also, no?
No, it's unmute.
No, I can hear you, but I cannot see you. Yeah, now I can see you. Very good. Yeah, go ahead. What's the question?
No, acceptance and expectations. So both the thing is sometimes contradict. One side, whole reason behind of having some confrontation or difference in opinion, everything. Two things. One is of ego. Other side is expectation. Of course, Buddha says, or many people live without expectation. So it is very difficult for a layman or maybe the ordinary people living without expectation is little difficult.
Okay, stop. Did I ever stop? Listen, did I ever tell you live without expectation? Did I tell you like that?
No, you didn't told in this section about that, but I am talking my way of thinking, like acceptance of certain people. I also expect something from my spouse or mother or people. So when it is
sure.
not.
Wait. It is normal. It is normal to expect something. Okay. No doubt. But have you told them that you expect it?
No, I cannot ask them I'm expecting this, no?
No, why? If you don't, even if they don't know you are expecting, how will they fulfill your expectation?
So can I ask my mother I need love?
Yes.
No, because
your mother loves you anyway.
Yeah, naturally. But does he accept mother? We can't demand people that I expect from you, do that, or why not?
Hello, you can't. Why? If your wife is there, you can tell her, no? Hello, my dear wife, please show me some love. Do you love me?
Yeah.
Who has told you? God came and told you, you cannot ask them. You know what the biggest problem, Subhash, in life is that even in jobs, people are doing the same thing. If you don't tell them what you are expecting from them, they cannot fulfill your expectations. And that is the cause of many people's relationships getting spoiled. So whenever you are starting any relationship, it is good to sit down with them and ask them what are you expecting from me? You can ask them. And then you can tell them, okay, 1, 2, 3 expectation, I can fulfill it. 4 and 5, I cannot fulfill it. So it's clear. Okay. Everybody has never promised to fulfill all your expectations, but at least you can tell them, no? So you know where you stand. So you try this out.
There is some basic expectation, even after telling this expectation to people whom we are very close. We can't tell all the people around me about my expectation, but those who are very close, we can tell, but even still they are not able to understand.
Okay, so what's the point you are making?
Okay, leave it off. So that's what, it's not that easy to live
No. Hello. First of all, I am not saying live without expectation. I am not saying that. I don't know where you picked it up from. What I'm saying is, if you have an expectation, you should communicate the expectation to the others and find out whether they are prepared to fulfill it or not.
No, because acceptance and expectation is slightly contradictory, because when we are accepting an opposite person.
Excuse me. Hello. Accepting someone is accepting someone as they are. Some people find it difficult to accept people who are not fulfilling their expectations. Okay? Because you have a belief that I will only accept those people who are always fulfilling my expectations. That is your template or your belief. Now, if you have an expectation from someone, you have a choice. Either you tell them. If you tell them, there is a better chance that your expectation will be fulfilled. Once you tell them, both parties know where they stand.
Even after they are not understanding and I'm not getting the thing which I am not supposed to get or needed to get, or
because you never told them, na, Subhash?
No, even after I told in different way, even to my sister, who's
different way is very dangerous way. Okay, they may not get it. You know how people listen. How people listen, you are saying something and they are hearing something else. So you have to be very explicit and tell them, look, this is what I expect from you. Are you okay with it or not? They may say, sorry, this expectation I cannot fulfill. So suppose you have an expectation. Example, are you listening?
Yeah.
Suppose you have an expectation. Whenever I say anything to you, my dear wife, you should always say yes, yes. That is your expectation. Is she going to fulfill that expectation?
That's true. We have to give space to them.
It's an unrealistic. No, it's an unrealistic expectation. Suppose you have an expectation, okay, my dear friend, I can do all the blunders in my life, but never get angry with me. Huh? That's what I'm expecting from you. That's an unrealistic expectation, man. If you do stupid things, people will get angry with you. How can you expect them not to get angry? Yeah. So it's a very good, we can have a whole topic of discussion one day only on expectations. Okay. Acceptance is another matter. We can have another topic on that. Don't mix them up. When we mix them up, that's when we get into trouble. So thank you so much, Subhash, for the clarification.
Okay,
thanks. I love your questions, man. Thank you very much. Okay. Somebody else was wanting to say something. Who was that?
Parveen has a question.
Okay, go ahead, Praveen. Praveen's question was, what is the difference between belief and a realization? Is that right, Praveen? Parveen, is it right? That was your question? I think you put that question in the chat box. Yes? Praveen is not able to speak.
Yeah, she is there. She is there. She has to unmute.
Yes, sir.
That is your question, is it not?
Right.
Okay, so what is, you tell me, are they not two different things? Belief is something you believe, okay? Realization is something you realize. So somebody says something to you and you realize, oh, this is what I've been doing all my life. That is called a realization. And a belief is something you believe to be true. So many things we believe, no?
Okay.
Give me one example of what you believe, some beliefs that you have. All men are
equal.
Okay, so that's your belief. Right or wrong, we're not. Okay, one more. All men are another.
Born equal.
No, that's fine. That topic is over. All men are, say some other belief you have about men.
All men are having a soul.
Okay, all men are. Now you're giving all philosophical answers. Tell me the real ones you have. All men are.
When you're talking about men, you're talking gender specific or
yeah,
all
gender specific. Since you are a woman, I'm asking you the beliefs that you may be having about men. All men are
selfish.
One minute. Let us speak. All men are.
All men are having a set prototype of a woman in their mind.
Exactly. All men are good. So these are now the beliefs coming out, right? Yeah, one more. All men are.
All men are.
Like if you ask men, no, many of the men will say, oh, women are weak. Now that's a pretty stupid belief that they have, but it's a belief, right?
Right.
So all men are
from Mars. That's what they say. I don't believe it.
Leave that here. All men are what?
All men are from Mars. That's what they say.
You leave that. I've read the book. leave it. Give me your beliefs. Forget what the book says. All men are, and all the women on this call, you see how many beliefs you'll have about men. Those are
All
beliefs.
men are basically same as women, not much different.
Is that what you really believe? All men
Yes.
are?
Yes.
Yeah, say some more. All men are?
At the human level.
Leave
at
that.
the
That's
soul-
done. I got it.
At the soul level, all men and women are equal.
Yeah, Parveen, I got that. Move on to the next belief.
The next
All
belief,
men are-
again, you want me to be gender specific, gender
Yeah,
biased?
yeah, very specific. As a woman, I'm asking you what beliefs, what other belief you have about men. There's no gender bias or anything.
All men are individually different from each other.
Okay, all men are.
Because you are asking me to generalize the entire.
No, I'm not
gender
asking you to
species,
generalize anything.
Which I can't.
Parveen, everybody has got beliefs, buried in
Yes.
their mind. Okay,
Yes.
which sometimes they don't know. So we give all the politically correct answers. I want you to look at. Okay, don't
but
say if you don't want.
Because I am not able to generalize the entire species of men in one sentence. I'm not able to do it. I'm trying to
but you
find
know
a
what?
common, because you need a commonality
don't.
between the entire the entire men.
Hey,
human
Babre,
species.
you are a trainer or what?
No, I'm not able to do that. I'm trying in my mind. You're telling me.
Okay,
You see,
fine.
all men are,
But-
but I'm not finding a commonality.
Okay, good. So if you have a specific person, do you notice you'll have beliefs about people in general? Like when I was a kid growing up, because of what my mommy used to keep saying, I used to always say people are dangerous. That was a belief I had.
Okay.
I had a belief called people will make fun of you at the earliest
Oh
opportunity.
yeah.
So these are beliefs. You wanted to know the difference between a belief and a realization. Okay. All my life, I believed that I'm a shy person. Okay. And one day I had a realization. I said, wow, I'm not really a shy person. I've been having a wrong belief about me all along. That was a realization. You get it?
So all beliefs are basically in the mind, and
All
all
beliefs are-
realizations are practical experiences. That's what you're telling me.
No, they are also in the mind. Where else will you have a realization?
No, but it happens. Something happens, and then you get a realization.
Yeah, of course, many times something you read will give you a realization. Sometimes you hear something that will give you a realization. You understand? Sometimes you will see, for example, you said all men have got templates about women, right? And then one day you might meet a man, you'll say, wow, he does not have any templates about women. That would be a realization. So all my life I used to believe, I used to be very uncomfortable if a lady was driving the car. You understand? So what belief might be there in my mind if I'm feeling uncomfortable?
What was that? Come again?
I said whenever I was sitting in a car which was being driven by a lady, I would be feeling uncomfortable.
Okay.
So what belief do you think?
Women are bad drivers.
Yeah, so that would be a belief that I had, right? Now one day, I was being driven by my younger sister-in-law, and I had a realization. I said, wow, some women can be great drivers, much better driver than I am. That was a realization.
But then that won't break your belief, no? Because you'll still believe that women in general.
Now you are generalizing. How do you know it won't
would
break
say-
my belief? It
Then
broke
you'll
my
still
belief.
believe that just one woman driving good, she's an exception.
Yeah. That one realization made me see, women drivers who are very good. Because my old belief would never allow me to sit with a woman driver.
Okay, got it.
How would I know that all women are good drivers or not? If I don't even sit in a car where a woman is driving. Are you getting it? So this is how the beliefs are influencing us all the time.
So we need to test our beliefs?
Of course. If you keep living your life believing that your belief is the truth, it will always keep controlling your life, no?
Yes.
Like for 27 years of my life, I was a shy person because I believed that I cannot speak in front of people. And I was a sales manager, for God's sake. And I was doing very well in my job also. but I would never do public speaking because I had a belief that I'm a shy person. I can't speak in front of people. So realization is when you realize things out of your own, when one of your beliefs might get debunked, you'll realize something. Oh, this is what he's saying. A lot of times, somebody is explaining to you, you don't get it. And one day suddenly you realize, so, oh, that is what that fellow was trying to say. That's called a realization. Do I answer your question, ma'am?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I loved it that you asked this question because many people don't ask. So thank you for asking. It makes things clear for many people. Thank you. Okay.
Sukhdev, Milan here. Many times life.
Sir, may I request you one thing? My name is Sukhdeepak. Please don't call me Sukhdeep.
Sorry, sir.
Thank you so much.
My profound apology. Sorry. So many times life will put you in some kind of a situation that your beliefs will be put to test. So therefore, you don't really have to replicate one of your beliefs on many in order to come to a conclusion.
Then you will come to a realization. I'll tell you something very interesting. This company that I worked for, I worked there for 13 years and I had this boss. He used to make my life miserable for me. Okay. I had tried everything with him. Chamchagiri, ye, wo. I would do whatever he said, everything I did. Eventually I left and I became a trainer. Okay. After many years, we were on a flight together by chance and we sat next to each other. We changed our seats, In fact, he changed his seat and he came and sat down with me. So we had a very amicable conversation and he was, obviously after so many years, people change, So when the flight was about, they announced, we are beginning our descent to Delhi, like that. So this fellow says, yes, I want to ask you something. I said, sir, first I want to ask you something.
Asking something. I am asking something. I will ask. Can I ask?
No, can I finish what I'm saying to this gentleman? After that, you can ask. Just wait a bit. Yeah. So I asked this. He said, okay, you ask first. I said, sir, you tell me something. All those years I worked with you, I was always doing everything you asked me to do. I was always polite to you. I was so respectful to you and everything. Why were you troubling me so much? That's exactly what I wanted to ask you, Sukhdeepak. Why were you always trying to be a smart ass? तुम अपना साला अंग्रेजी झाड़ते रहते तो. You see, now I can't help it here. I come from, father Sardarji, mother Malayali. In our house, we used to speak only in English. So for me, it was normal to talk to him in English. Right? But the way it was coming across to him was that I'm trying to act smart and impress him with my English. Okay? So he says, I don't like these smart asses, You're always trying to act smart, so I didn't like you. Now, can you see that? Then I had a realization, oh, that is why he was behaving like that. So many things carry like that, no? So thank you for your, input. Yeah, all right. So some lady wanted to ask a question. Who was that? Please go ahead and ask your question. After that, we'll come to you, Giri Garu. Somebody wanted to ask a question. Who is that? Rama, could you make out who it was?
Sri Kumari.
I guess it's
Yes,
some
Sri
wrong
Kumar.
thing. I think it's there. Wrongly, it got opened.
No, it is Sri Kumari. She wants to ask.
Yeah, Sri Kumari, please ask your question.
Whether she wanted to ask you or somebody else in the house, I don't know.
It's all right. So she'll come back when she comes back. And Giri Garu, please go ahead. What is your question or comment or words of wisdom? Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Nice view.
Today we are all speaking about the belief system, and I think next we will speak about upset. I have 4 quadrants of belief system. One is my personal life, one my business life, and then my family, and then my friends. So these are all the things has to be balanced. But somewhere I am stucking. If I am doing my business properly, I am not looking after my family properly. So like that, I want to balance these 4 quadrants.
The belief system is I am very much I know how to handle the any one of the quadrants, but I am not the person will balance entire 4 quadrants.
That
So
is your
if
belief,
can-
no? That is
yeah,
what you
this is
believe.
this is my belief, sir.
What is the belief? Can you articulate it clearly? I am not a person who can balance the 4 quadrant. That is what you believe.
Yes, sir.
So is it true?
Yeah, most probably true.
How do you know?
When I am looking after my business life, I totally missing my family.
Okay, so one question to you, sir. How are you going to find out that you are capable of managing the 4 quadrants? Actually, you are. But how will you find it out?
The stacking up, sir.
How will you find out? You are able to hear my question?
Yes, I can hear.
Can you tell me what is the question I asked you, sir?
How you are finding your
You didn't hear my question, you see. That's why I say we don't listen. Hello, your sales will increase 200% if you start listening. Again, I'll repeat the question. How will you find out whether you are capable of handling all the 4 quadrants? First, you repeat the question, what I asked.
how I am finding my belief system.
No, I never said that. So first you listen to the question, then only you can answer, no? I will again say the same question, very simple question. Question is, how will you find out? Say with me.
How will you find out
that you are capable of handling all the 4 quadrants?
All the 4 quadrants.
Now you got the question? By the way, Rama,
Yes,
is
sir.
Reddy Garu there today in the call?
Doesn't look like.
Oh, otherwise we can. Okay, so now Giri Garu, this one sentence you have heard it properly. Can you translate into Telugu?
Sir, he is a Tamil.
You are a Tamil pacer, sir. Translate into Tamil. What you have, this question which I asked you, please say it in Tamil. So Rama can find out whether you got the question or you didn't. This is not a test, Baba. We are just checking if how our listening is.
Yes, sir. There I am in the roadside. The vehicle are regularly crossing.
But you heard the question, no, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now you say same question in Tamil. You remember the question or you forgot that?
Yes, to the capable, up to capable, I can able to catch it.
So again, I will say, I will say one sentence, you say same sentence in Tamil. How will you find out? Say in Tamil. Just stop this music when whoever it is. Huh?
நீங்க எப்படி கண்டுபிடிப்பீங்க?
Exactly. That you are capable.
அது நான் எப்படி கண்டுபிடிப்பேன்? How I am capable.
No, not how am I capable. How will you find out that you are capable? How will you find out that you are capable? Say in Tamil.
நான் எப்படி கண்டுபிடிப்பேன்?
கண்டுபிடிப்ப what? That you are capable. You say I am capable in Tamil.
என்னால முடியும்.
Okay, so how will you find out that Yannala Mudiyum for doing 4 quadrants equally? How will you find it out?
என்னால எப்படி முடியும் நான் எப்படி கண்டுபிடிப்பேன்?
Okay, Raghu, did he translate properly?
Yes, sir.
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah, now you say the same thing in Tamil.
First, I'll tell you in English. How will you find out you are capable of handling all quadrants?
All four quadrants.
All four quadrants.
Right. Now say in Tamil tone.
Find out. அந்த வாழ்க்கையினுடைய 4 பகுதிகளை எவ்வாறு என்னால் சமாளிக்க முடியும்? வாழ்க்கை 4 பகுதிகளை எவ்வாறு என்னால் சமாளிக்க முடியும்? என்னால் சமாளிக்க முடியும்.
சமாளிக்கனா கேப்பபிள் என்ன சொல்றீங்க?
சமாளிக்க முடியும்.
அது சமாளிக்க முடியுமான்னு கண்டுபிடிக்கணும்.
சமாளிக்க முடியுமான்னு கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். Yes.
Yeah, now it is correct. See, that much Tamil I also know.
Thank you, sir.
Now I just wanted to give you a little. Yeah, it's all right, Kuldeep ji. We have exceeded our time, so those who want to leave, you can. Thank you very much for being there. So, Giri Garu, we are just trying to show everybody how we are listening. You understand? Simple sentence. How much it takes time to really get it. That is one of the big reasons for our problems in life. Now, my question, you understand? How are you going to find out that you are capable of handling all these 4 quadrants? Now, please answer the question. You want to handle all 4 quadrants, right?
Yes, sir.
Manama, to handle all 4 quadrants you want?
Yes, I want it, sir.
Exactly. So how will you find out that you can do it? By doing it.
Yes.
By committing for all 4 of them equally. Correct. There also you will be having some belief. You see, like most human beings, we have a belief. What we do, we will give up one thing for doing another thing. That is what we do always, isn't it? This is a habit. If I have to keep one promise, I think I have to leave another promise, right? Because our mind says, how I can do all those 4 things together? You can, sir. You can do, but you have to put more effort. You can do, but you have to use more brains and more ideas and look for more possibilities. It first start by saying, I am committed. I want to handle all my 4 quadrants, and I'm going to do that. And I will never let anything come in the way of that. Then your mind will keep searching possibilities to do that. Rama, can you tell the same thing to him in Tamil also, just making doubly sure? He knows English very well, but still making
I miss, sorry, my attention went away.
Why do you think I asked you? Okay, yeah. Vetrivel, your turn.
Yes, sir. கேள்வி வந்து I tell him Tamil or English, sir?
Tamil.
கேள்வி என்னன்னா, என்னால 4 பகுதியும் சிறப்பா செய்ய முடியும்னு எப்படி கண்டுபிடிக்க போறேன்? என்னால முடியும், அதை நான் எப்படி கண்டுபிடிக்க போறேன்? அதை எப்படி கண்டுபிடிக்க போறேன்னா, சிம்பிளி பை செஞ்சு காட்ட போறேன். செஞ்சாதான் என்னால கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியும்.
Committing to all 4 of them equally.
நான் வந்து உறுதியா அதை செய்ய போறேன். அதன் மூலமா தான் நான் கண்டுபிடிக்க போறேன்.
Committing.
Yes.
So what's the word for committing in Tamil?
Urudhi. I said urudhi. Firm.
Okay,
sorry.
That's commitment. Yeah. And then there is, what is the belief that comes in the way of that? What is our habit in life that we do? Our habit is we give up one thing to do some other thing. That's what we normally do. Because our mind believes that, oh, if I have to do one, then how can I do other? This is what the mind believes. So what I'm saying is, if you are committed, you have to do, or you can do all the 4, but it is not easy. You have to put more effort. You have to have more ideas. If you do work the way you are already doing it, that way you cannot do it. So you have to make a lot of changes to your thinking and the way you are working. Then all 4 can be taken care of. See, one of your problem in life, Giri Garu, you want to do everything yourself, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So if you want to do everything yourself, you think you can manage your 4 quadrants?
Now I am delegating also, sir.
I know how much you are delegating. All the bloody donkey work you are delegating, important ones you don't give. And 90% of your job is important ones. I know na, how the small businessmen are thinking. I was also one of them. See, so I know that. But are you getting the moral of the story? If you want to, you can, but you'll have to think differently. And I'm telling you one thing, Girigaru. The same thinking which you're having will never allow you to become a big businessman. You will remain small businessman. You want to remain small businessman, always struggling. You're doing more work than any employee is doing. It's your own business or you're working for someone?
My own business, sir.
Right. But in your own business, you are working more than if you are doing a job. Do you notice that?
Yes, sir.
So, a lot of things to be talked, but not right now because time is getting. But you understood? It is possible to handle all the 4 quadrants if you want.
First, I have to accept only I have to do all these things. I have to balance.
You can do it.
Myself. Yes, sir.
You can say, I can do it.
Sir, I can do it, sir.
I will do it. Say,
I will do it.
I promise to do it.
I promise to do it.
And I will not allow any obstacle to stop me.
I will not allow any obstacles to stop it.
Congratulations. And if you have any difficulty, then we are all there to help you out. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it will always not be very pleasant. Huh? Sometimes when we are challenging you, then you don't like it. But if we don't challenge you, you will never change also.
We will not grow.
Exactly. So thank you for asking the question.
Thank you.
Keep participating. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Anybody else? Anything you'd like to say to complete this session for you? So we've got very interesting questions happening. And Parveen, you are a newcomer, I think, to this platform.
She's
so why
been
don't
there.
you?
She's been there last 1 week or so.
Oh, good,
And
good.
she also shared her sharing.
Oh, was I there when she shared it?
No, you were not there.
Major Saab, good morning.
She was
Good morning, sir. I would like to. I
sorry,
had just
sorry,
taken
sorry.
2 takeaways from the session. You know, the
Yes.
session was quite lengthy. The learning was profound.
Tell me, sir, what was the
First
learning?
is, that is about the judging others. Judging others doesn't define who they are, but it defines who we are. Once I started going back and then started introspecting, I found that we only judge others, not for that it only defines ourselves. And once we should stop judging others by what you see, because what you see is what they want us to see.
That is true.
They've been able to do display a particular behavior because they want us to judge them by what they've been doing, and we unnecessarily go into the trap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And when we stop judging, our heart begins to open, and our life becomes more meaningful.
Beautiful.
This is the realization I got, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing it, sir. All righty. So the formal part of the meeting is over. I'm stopping the streaming. And before I do that, thank you very much, everybody, for being a part of this Empowering Morning Conversation, session number 108. And we'll see you again tomorrow morning with another great session. Thank you so much. And